And it's here, the point-based immigration system. It's not actually Australian style, but then who cares? Nobody knows what that even means anyway, any more than anybody really knows what points-based means. They were always blunt instruments designed to bludgeon facts with excitable feelings. In this case, the feelings of being swamped or being overrun or being undermined, or in short, that your life is made worse by the presence of people who weren't born. Well, actually, that's not even true, is it? Your life is made worse by the presence of people in this country, some people in this country, and then we arbitrarily determine what qualifications put them into that category. Do you know when I knew the game was up? In 2020 hindsight is a wonderful thing, but a lot of people in the metropolitan elite. Oh, by the way, metropolitan elites are laughing with these new immigration rules. If the EU were to fully reciprocate on these grounds, then obviously highly educated high earners aren't going to lose any freedom of movement at all. They, or possibly we, although I'm no polyglot, will be able to move wherever we want. But if you earn less than 25 grand a year and the EU reciprocates in any way, you won't be retiring to Spain anytime soon without passing a Spanish test. You'd be all right on that, will you? Desayuno, dos desayunas inglés, por favor? I don't know. And what is a low-skilled worker, in your view? I wonder how many people will ring me and tell me that they are low-skilled workers, because I find that phrase really obnoxious. Really obnoxious. If the people currently looking after your very sick grandfather are low-skilled workers, what message are we sending to them today as they prepare to wipe backsides and prepare medications for minimum wage? Well, I'll tell you what message we're sending them today. You're not welcome here. What message are we sending to the people that ensure the free flow of food from fields to market? Yeah, you're not welcome here. What message are we sending to people who hold up what remains of industry in this country? So much of it now, of course, within the service sector rather than manufacturing. So what message are we sending to the people that wait our tables, serve our drinks? Yeah, you're not welcome here. What message is this government sending to you? Because, I mean, you may well be welcome here because you were blooming well born here. But how do you feel this morning about learning that you are inferior to me because you don't earn over 25 grand a year? In the eyes of this government, you are an inferior member of society. You are less welcome here than I am because the measures that they've put in place to keep the anti-immigration lobby happy apply to people. And you are, although obviously people are very keen that you forget this temporarily, you are people. You are a person. So today, these rules apply to foreigners. But what are the rules? Well, the rules determine how welcome you are. You arrived here at 18 with ambition and dreams, but no job. You're not welcome. You arrive here and see your own daughter go on to become Home Secretary. Well, sorry, under these rules, you wouldn't be welcome, as Nick Ferrari pointed out earlier when talking to Priti Patel. So, who precisely do you think these proposals are designed to delight? Because the other story in the news this morning that I think needs to be included in any contemplation of Britain's new immigration reforms is the one about record numbers of people being in work as pay overtakes pre-crisis peak at last. So 2 little episodes from the past. I got a little distracted there from telling you when I knew the game was up. I knew the game was up when I interviewed an MP for a seaside town, a UKIP fella, and I'd read the census about him. I told you this at the time. I'd read the census for his constituency. Something like 97+%. What we would call indigenous. There was even some evidence that of the 2-point-something% of non-indigenous people in that constituency, or people with foreign heritage, there was some statistic about the likelihood of it having been European. So I remember and talking about the legitimate concerns of my constituents. And I said, well, I've looked at the census. Your constituents don't have any legitimate concerns about immigration. They live in one of the poorest parts of the United Kingdom. and they have been more or less untouched by immigration. And he complained to the BBC. Didn't get very far with the complaint. Didn't get much further in politics either. But that's when I realised, these are posh, middle-class, right-wing people claiming that poor, dismissed, neglected members of our country are suffering because of immigration rather than suffering because of policy, because of decisions. And then austerity, 10 years of austerity, everything gets worse. But still, they tell us to celebrate the fact that the number of people in work reached a record high in the final quarter of last year. So why are we being asked simultaneously to celebrate the fact that a record number of people are in work, but also celebrate the fact that we are now going to start turning away workers? I'm a little bit confused by that. Just as I'm confused about who precisely would be in favour of Spanish tests for Brits retiring to the Costa.